Rick Tyler is the national spokesman for Ted Cruz's campaign. Thank you so much for joining us. And
glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. So tell me about Senator Cruz. He said he's not going to go after Bill Clinton, but do you think he's fair game?
Well, you're asking me if a former president of the United States has been elected twice, who was one of the most partisan and political presidents we've had.
His indiscretions, I guess. His indiscretions are the bigger issue. Do you think those are fair game and really even a smart thing to approach?
Well, I'll leave that up to Donald Trump to answer. But for our campaign, if Bill Clinton becomes involved in talking about issues or besmirching our record, et cetera, and he inserts himself in a political campaign, of course he's fair game and will continue to be, because he's obviously has he's got a candidate in this race, and that's Hillary Clinton, and so of course he's going to be fair game.
All right, so I do want to ask you about something that Donald Trump said. This was at his event in Iowa last night. He seemed to suggest that Ted Cruz's Cuban heritage meant that he wasn't really in step with Iowa evangelicals. I mean, it was pretty pointed what he said, and he actually held up a Bible and just sort of said, take note of this. He said that to the best of his knowledge, not too many evangelicals come out of Cuba. What's your response to that?
Well, I'm a little confused by it. I'm not sure what it means. Does it mean if you're a Cuban, you can't be an evangelical, or if you're an evangelical, you can't be Cuban? Rihanna, I can't make any sense of it.
Okay, so no reaction to that.
Well, I had a reaction. It just doesn't make sense. He's Cuban and he is an evangelical, and he's pointed out it is his mother is from an Irish family, which is typically Catholic, and Cubans are typically Catholic, but he's an evangelical. His father was saved by a Baptist minister, and he became a Baptist and grew up in a Baptist church, so that's how he became an evangelical.
Do you worry, though, that that Donald Trump can carve away at some of Ted Cruz's support there? What is he going to do or continue to do to try to prove his creds in this sort of area?
Well, look, in Iowa, we've had Steve Deace, Bob Vander Plaats, Steve King endorse us. That's sort of a trifecta in Iowa for evangelical support. We just met with 300 faith leaders, who I know many of them personally, and they've been meeting for 3 cycles now, and they've never really all come together to get behind one candidate, and this early, and they've done that this time, and they've chosen Ted Cruz. And the polling shows that we're very strong with evangelical voters, and the map is just so favorable because Iowa's an evangelical state, South Carolina's an evangelical state, and then you have March 1st, the SEC primary, from Georgia all the way over to Oklahoma. These states are all 50, 60, and 70% evangelical. I think there's 11 of them, of the first 18 that go, that are more than 50% evangelical. So we're very fortunate, and we're looking forward to the map.
Your candidate has said not even close to a bad word, certainly at least publicly, when it comes to criticizing Donald Trump. Is he committed? Are his surrogates and his supporters who go out there on TV drumming up support for him, are they committed to stick to that all the way to Iowa and beyond?
Well, I'm proud of the way we run our campaign. We've stayed a positive message on the issues about Ted Cruz. The only time we've ever responded is when we've been attacked on a policy issue. And so we're not going to allow people to denigrate the senator's record. And so we'll continue to do that. As far as I know, Donald Trump has never attacked our record. So we haven't attacked him personally. Others have attacked our record, and we respond appropriately.
Can you tell us, because one of Ted Cruz's advantages in all of this is that he's been a fundraising juggernaut, and that a lot of that is in his campaign, not just in super PACs that support him. Can you give us a sense of what's been raised here in the fourth quarter?
I can tell you, we just announced in the past few minutes that we've raised $45 million in our campaign total, and that's about $20 million for the last quarter, which is a 66% increase over the quarter before. And the reason that's important is because there's been very few campaigns that have raised that money historically, but we have evangelical support, we have Tea Party support, we've consolidated the broad spectrum conservative base of what we said we were going to do, and now we've proven we've got the fundraising to go the distance. So this campaign is organized, we've got a message, we've got a terrific candidate, and we're funded to go the distance. And so I'd ask your viewers to take a look at Ted Cruz. You can go to tedcruz.org and take a look at our campaign and all the things we're doing. We're very excited about it.
All right, real quick, is it enough to combat Donald Trump, who has unlimited funds, and as he said yesterday, he says he's $35 million under budget?
Well, I'll tell you, if you got an organization and people going to doors, and we've got 6,000 volunteers doing that in Iowa now, you know, when someone rings your doorbell, it's a lot more powerful than advertising, but it does make your advertising more effective, because when you're actually touched by the campaign and your neighbor says, you know, check out Ted Cruz, and I hope you vote for him, and then you see his ad on television that night, that's a qualitatively different experience than just seeing an advertisement. You never get to meet the candidate or anybody with the campaign, and it ends up just sounding like noise.
All right, Rick Tyler with the Cruz campaign, thank you so much.